No. I won him the game, so yeah, dude, like I won with Omniscience yesterday, so what? Like, I mean, you make a good point in terms of hindsight, like, yeah, he won that game with that spell, but like, it doesn't make the... Because like, how many times will you get stuck with a negate and a spell pierce in your hand as GPG and just lose on the back of it? Right? The deck is actually contingent upon sort of going fast in many ways. Not always, but very often that's sort of what the deck needs to do. I don't think it can afford to wait that long. Like, there's so many like decks you just don't use that card against, right? It's like playing Jace's Defeat in your main deck. Why? You know, like you could, but it's probably not worth it. Huh. Hey, if we played exactly like, you have to understand, Smith, the only reason that Spell Pierce won is because I'm an idiot. Because I decided to play loose, and I just committed memory during the combat phase. But like, if I had gone Fog, and then end of turn commit, then I pretty much win 100%, right? I don't think I can lose at that point. And that's the problem with Spell Pierce, is unless your opponents play like an absolute dumbass like I did, it's just gonna lose you the game more often than it will win it to you. Like, win it for you. I think he could play like Negate. I think that's reasonable. But I don't think that playing both is particularly relevant. I think Negate is justifiable because it beats... Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's some actual math behind it. Not even kidding. Maybe there's like some actual math where he's figured out that on X turn he'll have exactly one open. And so in the aggregate, Spell Pierce is better. That's like very advanced. And I'm just unconvinced that's what happened. Especially in GPG, which is like a combo deck. Right? Like, I can't even afford negates in my deck. I can't afford them. It's like if I ran them in my main deck here. But it even worse, because I'm playing a less combo-y version. I'm still in a controlled game plan. He's on a proactive put shit on the board game plan, put shit in the graveyard game plan. So like, he pre-boarded versus control. Which is very strange. It seems situational. Yeah, that's why you put it in the sideboard, not in your main deck. It's like, it's more situational than situational. It's so situational you can't even believe it. That's an interesting choice. Interesting. So he played around what here? There's no Settle the Wreckage in my deck. I don't have double white unlocked. What was that about? Worst other dragon? Probably Arcades, I would say. Depends for what purpose, but yeah, probably Arcades. Although I'm sure we could probably debate that. So we're gonna go +1, untap double Hinterland Harbor, and get ourselves a Fog to protect the Fairy. Now we have infinite Fogs to protect the Fairy, so... It actually works. It actually works super well, this double untap. It's so broken. It found another tech to break! The Fairy's breaking another archetype. Help. Oh yeah, the Jund Dragon is very bad. Well, like... We talked about it on the Tier 2 podcast earlier. Like, the Jund Dragon just doesn't do anything you want it to do in those colors. Like, it just... You can't control your draw, so it's unlikely you get to scry something at the top. You can't really mess with your opponent's top deck, so you can't really abuse the upside of, like, killing something or bringing something out. I don't think the podcast is uploaded, but it'll be uploaded on the on Merchant's YouTube channel a bit later today. So you should just keep an eye out for that. It'll happen. Commencement doesn't save Teferi. Well, that works, right? Haze of Pollen works. This doesn't, because it's only for players, not planeswalkers. How do you have Infinite Fog? Well, we don't, but, you know, we're gonna get Infinite Fog. I mean, we have infinite draws, and we have at least 2 guaranteed hazes. I'm thinking maybe here I bounce Ixalan's Binding with Teferi, but if he draws 2, then I'm in trouble. I also lose to Sanctum Seeker sometimes, so I have to be careful. Why is he able to play? Servers are down? Oh, maybe because I didn't log out yet? I can't imagine there's too many people online then. Ah. What's my play here? Do I bounce? Do I bounce this? I think that's my line, yeah. We need Howling Mind. We have Cometta's Awakening, which behaves like, oh no, I took it out because people were like, you don't need this shit. Just play Glimmer. We have a much less passive deck. It's much more proactive now, which I'm not sold on at the moment because I feel like ever since I've switched to this version, I've been drawing way too few cards for my taste. Way too few. So if I put this binding, does it push this one down? Probably, right? Because it has to be second. Kumena seems way better. Yeah, I think Kumena's supposed to be here, but I don't know, man. Don't ask me. So we're gonna mill the Ixalan's Binding with Teferi right away. Whoop. So Psychic Corrosion triggers. To the grave we go. Yeah, the Wall of Mist has been pretty good in limited. It's like 2-mana Doomblade, right? Delete a creature from the board as it can't attack anymore. It's the blue Doomblade. Somebody described it like that. I think that's a fair assessment. 2 mana, I can play control. Yes, that's so much it. That's exactly it. 2 mana, oh, I get to play control deck in draft. Yeah, commit works very well with Psychic Corrosion. That's why I play both together. I don't think this deck works without, I don't know. I think commit is essential for this deck to even have a chance at functioning. I don't know how this deck is supposed to work otherwise. I could have Teferi take 1 damage. Oh no. He's gonna buff one of the guys over there. Well done. He plays his vampire deck very well. He plays his vampire deck pretty well. Little things that a lot of people don't do, he just does very, very, very well. On point. I didn't even see that. I didn't even register in my mind. I think I'm just a bad vampire player. Any plans to attend a GP work for PT points now that you're playing MTG daily? You mean leave my city, drive to another city to play in a tabletop game with competitive decks against pro players instead of streaming and making a living at home? I don't see that happening. I don't think there's a world where I do that literally ever. I don't think that is ever happening. And I don't think these pro players should be doing that over just producing content. But they keep the game alive, I guess. I literally do not see the point of GPs. I guess it's for real fans of Magic. Maybe I'm not enough a fan of Magic. Is that what this comes down to? Maybe I just don't like Magic. I've betrayed myself. I don't know, it doesn't seem like a very worthwhile investment of time. Like, all these Magic players could be doing, and Brian Kibler had a very interesting tweet on this recently about Magic. He said that these players' skill set, which is analysis, playing with odds, the ability to maintain composure in the face of tilt, all these players are using these skills in an area that's unlikely to yield very much in the long run, and they should probably try to transfer those over to another game. Oh no, we have Fumigates, so you know, I'm just waiting for Fumigate here. Like socializing? I don't like socializing enough to pay a few thousands or a few hundreds just to go to an event. Plus the missed opportunity cost of not being at home for streaming. I don't know, I don't see it, man. Are you specifically referring to MTG Pros? Specifically in this case, although that logic translates over to many people. But those are the people we were talking about, yes. So we don't have a plane, so we can't use Fumigate just yet.
Keep up the pace.
And that's just game. He's gonna concede when I do this, right? There's no way he stays around. That's just GG. Same for LANs like DreamHack and similar. Yeah, but the thing is, like, a lot of those DreamHack events, you know, the teams that go there, not the LANs, because going to a LAN is different. If you're going to a LAN to just BYOC, bring your computer and have fun, I think that's a very different story. That's gonna be a very long process. Wait, you could have just sacrificed all of them so I gained the least amount of life. Well, you didn't have to, though, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, I really hope they implement guilds, dude. I really want guilds. I just want to make a guild where I can go in and it's called, like, there's a ban list or something. I don't know. A guild of jank. Poker is the only viable option. That's iffy as fuck. Yeah, I think poker is probably the best option in this case. Yeah, room something where you can just be with people. Although I'm sure it'll turn into a... It'll turn into a weird... cybersex platform like every chat room ever made. Intent. Have people communicate about what they really like. I'm touching myself right now. What are you wearing? It's like, no, let's not do that, Magic. That might be why they're not doing it. Alright, so end of turn, we're gonna use Scavenger Grounds on everyone, and that'll just memory and mill him. I already have a zombie deck, Lunatic. Because I'm playing lazy D4. I'm just playing lazy when I've won the game already and we're just going through motions. Oh yeah, the scandal about the MTGA cards. Let's try to get another commit and then just memory him to death. There we go. BO1 ladder, BO3 for the win. See, it's the opposite for me. I really can't stand playing the same matchup 3 times in a row. I really just get very, very bored of playing that game mode. Kinda hard to find a win con. Sylvan Awakening. I have a lands deck, Tob. I already have a lands deck. Didn't you see it? I call it Soviet lands. You don't need Crucible though. Crucible is actually bad in that deck. Oh, the Crucible Desert Synergy? Oh, you have fun with that crap. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, my man. That is an awful deck. You mean Ipnu Rivulet, right? You're talking about like getting the Ipnu value. I can't bother. I can't be bothered. I mean, we had I was like, if you want to see that again, I can show you my list from yesterday. But that's the Nexus of Fate deck. But I really don't believe in Crucible. I don't think Crucible is very good. Where, like in the context of MTG Arena at least. To be fair, I'm not building competitive decks, but it's a build around. We can probably make it work. Like the initial land list was this. So we ran, I should probably cut to another blink here. So this was the initial list. With double blink, triple surge, double thematic. So grow from the ashes 4 times, 4 spring mines. That's the core. Then you play a bunch of legendaries with Karn's Temporal Sundering, Sifter Worms, Nisa, and you eventually just get so many goddamn lands, you just Sylvan Awakening them for 45, and you just win the game like that. Or we can win on Teferi or on Karn or on whatever, like you'll win. The alternative, which was actually much cooler, was this yesterday that we came up with. Well, I just built this on the back of the initial list. So the deck idea is you play Search for Escanta, Compass, same core as the rest, with some more Planeswalkers that are more competitive than Karn. And then the deck contains Nexus of Fate and Omniscience. We could run this. Yeah, we could. You want me to take it out for a spin? I'll take it out for a spin. You seem to be curious. Until it does its thing, we'll take it out for spins. You seem skeptical. Chat seems very skeptical of my Nexi. Nexuses? Okay. Nexus of memery. Sex is ridiculous. It's really stupid. Did I take the wrong deck? I did. You could probably build it on a Turbo Fog base, though. I feel like this deck should be a Turbo Fog base. Like, I've built this deck initially, and I was like, oh, we're gonna be fine, just drawing. I'm like, these Blinks of an Eye should be Turbo Fogs. Runa's Blast should be Fogs, probably. Tezzeret should be a Fog. You know, like, I feel like if I build this deck with Fogs instead, I think it just gets better. So I might end up making a different version of it at the end. That would be awesome though, having a Nexus, Scape Shift, Turbo Fog mill. But if you plan to win on lands, Hellfire is always more powerful and Banefire more safe, and the splash isn't hard in ramp. You're right, Hikaris, you're always right. You're always correct. The build was made months ago, before those were added, sorry, before Banefire was added. Torment of Hellfire I did not like in that deck because I didn't want to run Gifts of Paradise. But like, ideally you want to be running that because you can just kill people, but yeah. If you're in a best of 1, you're often going to be able to use Sylvan. In a best of 3, it no longer works, though. And I do not use Conjecture in this build, but I have a red-blue one that does. Alright, this is a fine hand. It's not great, but it's okay. It's missing Grow from the Ashes in my mind. I have like 3 draws to hit a land, which I think we will naturally hit. It's pretty natural. Oh, well, we might be able to just play Teferi on curve. Our opponent's dirtling as much as we are, so... We already have the double blue and whatnot, so... Ideally we want triple blue to get the Omniscience, but we should get there. Yeah, the Mill Enchantment deck is really good in Limited. Yeah, it definitely is.
I know. Let's skip to the good part.
Alright, so this is where you just get Tadiova plus lands. So next turn I go Tadiova land. You might cast out the Fairy, but that's not really a problem. If he just hits him in the face, I'll be pretty happy.
No more games.
That's pretty cool, actually. It gives us a card draw for quote-unquote free. Interesting.
No time for a break.
Alright, so next turn we go Forest, Grow from the Ashes, which is going to give us 3 draws plus 3 more lands. So we'll be at 10 open, no 9 open, so I'll have enough for a Spring on top of that for another draw. And I think that leaves me with... No, it won't be untapped. It's it won't be untapped, unfortunately. It will not. That isn't... I don't know if it's... Well, I mean, this is pretty janky, but the rest, not so much. Oh, Cast Out's a clever move. That's gonna screw me for a bit. That slows me down quite a bit. Not as much as I think he wants, but it does slow me down. Well, it just means we're gonna have more lands next turn, right? Because we get even more draws. So then we're about to hit Omniscience. As soon as we pick up the inevitable Nexus of Fate, we just vomit infinite value. Yeah, I see the irony, Jason. Hold that thought. Hurry up. Time is of the essence. Alright, I got your deck list, Bueno. I gotta like it. Bridemaid, Vanguard, Shieldmare. I like what it's trying to do. Has it been performing well? So Grow from the Ashes. That gives us 2 untapped lands. That's important. That's the reason why this deck even has a chance at functioning. Is because the lands are actually untapped. Because then you can use 2 of those in the mid game and get a Compass for free. Well, free-ish. That just taps. Alright, so now next turn we've got infinite lands, effectively. I mean, infinite turns. I think starting next turn we're hitting the infinite, right? I'm fairly sure we're entering the infinite next turn. If I had to make a guess. I don't want to pitch one Omniscience because I don't know if he might just cast it out as I play it. So I'll pitch a Spring, because it turns into a draw engine. Auto win versus mono red, that's always good. That's always good. If it auto wins versus mono red, you're probably doing something right. Alright. It begins. Play without mana cost. Play without mana cost. Play without mana cost.
You have no place in my plan.
Extra turn after this one. Spring for a land without mana cost. Draw a card off of Tadiova. Grow from the ashes without mana cost. Still pay the kicker. Get 2 more lands, 2 more draws. Without mana cost. We are drawing a lot less than I want to.
I know what must be done.
Pay without mana cost.
I won't
Draw another
keep up the
card.
pace.
Blink of an eye without mana cost. Pay the kicker. We could just bounce cast out for memes. I'll go +1 on Nisa. Just because I'd like to be able to get the emblem next turn, not that it really matters. Then we pass. It's our turn again. Doesn't really matter. How many lands? 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, we can't. We don't need this. We can transform Ascanta, and now we can fetch next Eye of Fate for the rest of the game. Yeah, this is game, basically. So, that's sort of how the deck wins.
It is the ideal subordinate.
I usually use Nisa because I don't need her past this point. We don't need Scape Shift anymore, no. I mean, usually I need it in the mid game to translate 11 lands into an auto win. So we have two turns stacked up, right? And we're about at 19 cards left in the deck.
Let's skip to the good part.
We have to pay costs for cards with Aftermath, unfortunately. Alright. Nexus of Fate. Now, this is a card I like a lot. We get to use Urza's Ruinous Blast. It wipes the Thopters, but that's not a big deal. We just get to wipe most creatures. Now we start swinging every turn. I'm surprised he's still playing though, but I guess he just doesn't know that this stacks. I think we have 1 land left before we have to play the other Omniscience. We're about to hit the last 3 draws of our deck. Alright. 9 cards left.
Of course. Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. Still 9 cards. Mill yourself? I literally can't, dude. Like, it's literally impossible. You actually can't, unless you, like, overdraw with Mind. Because Nexus of Fate keeps putting itself back in your deck. You'd have to try really hard to do it. So I must have, like, 17 turns stocked up right now. I think I can just kill him by attacking with Tadiova every turn. I'm pretty sure I could just kill him with Tadiova. I'm pretty sure he just dies by Tadiova. If I just pass my turn. That's the dream scenario. This is the Fable single player mode. I believe it is, yeah.
A master builds with ease.
Where's Sylvan? We took it out. I was disappointed with it. He's letting me go though. So that's kind of nice of him. So we drew our entire deck here. 17 cards in the grave, 4 in the exile with Spring, Omniscience that we took away with Ruinous Blast. All our hand is here, all the lands are there, and 2 cards left are both... there's 1 Nexus of Fate, and some other jank, I think. So that's the game. That was the deck. Pretty spooky. Thanks, opponent. So you wanted to see the deck in action. There you go. That was it. That was the deck. That was indeed the deck. So, again, I think I'm going to clone this real quick and see if I can't make it into... If I can't make it into Fogscape. Or like a Fog Nexus build. That could be kind of cool. That was me, GG. Really? Thank you for playing it out, man. Thank you for playing this out. Usually no one plays it out because it's obvious you've lost at some point. But thank you, dude. I really appreciate it. Like, I feel like it's gotta be doable. It has to be doable, although I'm not convinced that maybe Scape Shift fits the deck. It froze your game, by the way. Oh shit, really? Like, I'm not sure how much you change of this deck, but I like the idea of cutting down on some of this memery. How does this deck win against control decks? Oh, you just have to stick one threat, one of your Teferis or Tadiovas or Nisas, and yeah, Scape Shift is for not just deck thinning, but also because it lets you draw a ton with Nisa's emblem and Tadiova. You just cycle a lot, and it's really good once you have Omniscience going. It's just like another way to counterspell. Yeah, well, how many? Okay, I'm not gonna like. Dude, this is like a meme deck. Do you think this is a competitive build? Really, like? Does this look like a type of deck I'm gonna bring to a PTQ trying to beat black-red fucking vehicles? So, I realized why Fog is not a good idea in this deck. Fog doesn't actually work in this deck. It actually doesn't work. You need Blink, because you need it against most matchups. Aggro control doesn't matter. It's always better than most of the other plays that I've got. What else did I cut from this list? Ruinous Blast. The question, am I cutting Ruinous Blast for Fogs? The other Nisa would be Boss as a one-of. Which Nisa? The Steward? I used to run her, but I took her out. You mean her, right? The small one? I used to have her as a one-up, but I took her out. She didn't really operate the way I wanted, unfortunately. Yeah, I decided to take her out. She was initially in Soviet lands, which I adapted this off of. I even consider like putting 2 more blasts. I cut 1 more card here, and I'm not sure what it is. Oh, Tezzeret. Yeah, I cut Tezzeret for a search, and I think that's probably correct. How about Temporals? I used to have Temporals, and I cut them out. They're too slow in this build. For this specific deck, I think they're just too damn slow. Alright, I'll restart, Damon. Thank you. Well, we could have won with just making infinite Tezzeret tokens, Jamrick. We could have just made a bunch of those. I really like that live gain deck, though. They put together. We gotta fix the deck from the Elite Fight Crew. Let's play the deck from Alafit. Are you still in the chat, man? Are you still here? I want to make sure that he's still here before I take his deck. And yes, he's here. All right, we're gonna take your white deck for a spin. Where I'm gonna be modifying it quite a bit. So let's go, man. Let's fix this deck. Give it some love. No, Karn is not very good in that specific deck. You're looking for planeswalkers that give you an emblem you really care for. It's not just for card advantage. But Teferi would be good if you ran the fog version. I think, like, if you sideboard, you could probably turn the deck into a turbo fog in a split second if you just sideboard them in. If you just sideboard them in. So I'm getting a lot of lag on the reinstall. Publishing product information. I'll try to do this again as like an administrator because it's crashing for me right now. It's pretty crashy. It's super crashy. It's just doing nothing. And now it's just gone from my computer. It's just gone. Well, where the hell is that? Where is Magic Arena now? I hate this bug. I don't understand this bug. It happens every time. Like every single time, without fault, that I have to download this thing, it just finds a way to fuck itself. This must be the weirdest installer I've ever had to deal with. It's very weird. Extremely strange, honestly. Where's Magic Arena? It's just gone. Just Magic Arena's gone. Alright, I'll download it. Magic Arena download. No, not Magic the Gathering, please. I have to run it as an admin probably for it not to crash on me like always. I feel like the installer just doesn't like to install. Does anybody else, like, I can't be the only person who has that experience with it. I can't be the only person whose experience with the installer is a complete clusterfuck every time. You're not patient enough? Dude, like, it literally froze. It just froze. And I know when it freezes, because when it hits that point, usually it just crashes nonstop. Alright, I think it's fixed. It's currently working on installing. Alright, we'll figure that out later. Okay, so you're going for a lifelink build, right? I left you, so we're gonna fix that. I think I have an idea for where we're gonna be. We're gonna want to go. I already got it installed, I think. Installed! El Druid! Thank you. Woo. So tomorrow I might not be able to stream as I think my wife wants me to go up to the country house. Well, her aunt's country house. With, cause apparently Merrick is being a bit difficult. So. She needs a break, I guess. Oh, I got a phone call from somebody. 1877, never reply to that. Pretend like they don't exist. Oh my god, welcome to hell. It's alive! I think I fell. Where do you live? Who's asking? I live in Montreal, Quebec, in Canada. I'm a Canadian! Canadian. I'm the proof we're not all polite. Probably my Napoleon complex or something. What's your address? Yeah, there you go, see? I knew that question would come up. Now this is awkward. You made it awkward, chat. You always make it awkward. Alright, so this is... it's meant to be a live game deck. So, the first things you know right away is we don't need that stuff. There are some cards you probably don't want to be running. So if you want lifelink, you're looking for Legion's Landing, probably. Sacred Cat seemed like a good starting point. Rustwing Falcon does not seem mandatory unless you're running a bunch of auras, which can work, but I don't think that's where you want to be headed. I think this Ajani is worse than this one, even though it gives you life. I think this Ajani usually does a bit better. I think we're supposed to run Fountain of Renewal. Wait, you guys... Wait, what? What don't... Maybe take a bit of inspiration. Do you have the link again? Because I closed it after looking at the list. But yes, probably could take some inspiration, but... I don't think we need to go for those, I love her Splendid Angel as a way to build around. I think we could play the Sunmare. I think the Mentor is a good idea. Mentor of the Meek. I think that card is really busted in this deck. I'm really not a big fan of this package there. So it's looking like a weird token build with Oketras to generate Mentor of the Meek value and 1/1s. And probably, if not Radiance, then Banalish Marshall. Courser probably doesn't belong. Militia Bugler is probably not even necessary, is it? Silverbeak Griffin either. Again, you want to push that lifelink theme to the maximum, I think. Yeah, I'm digging this. The question is, how many tokens do we have? With this generates token, I think Procession is necessary with a little token guy. Priest. The question is whether or not that's going to be a sufficient build to run away with games, or if it's going to be too slow. I feel we're supposed to run Benitha over Priest. But I need 2 drops in white. Yeah, that's a challenge, huh? That's why you ended up playing like the card with the cards you did. White doesn't have like crazy 2 drops I'm super excited about. Reservoir for memes? I don't think that's necessary. It's a bit overkill even. I could see Martyr of Dusk making its way into the deck, even though it doesn't have Vampire synergy, it still has value. Unicorn? I don't think she's good enough to be played, even if you need the lifelink. Even if you need the lifelink, I don't think it's worth it. You probably want 24 planes with this, though, as weird as that sounds. So we do need to pay 6 for the Resplendent Angel's ability. My initial build was a lot because of the early flying units. Oh, I see. So you just want... If you want to build a white weenie without the lifelink as a core piece, I can build that, but it's going to be very different from this. You're not going to be... Yeah, there's going to be a lot of... Like, it's going to be a very different build. If you want like a white weenie, I can build that, but it's not going to be this. Because White Weenie and Lifelink are very, very different builds. Like, White Weenie just goes fast, right? White Weenie just jams damage. It just doesn't care what you want, it just goes and hits. I want to try out Dawnbringer. Wait, I don't have any more of those? Oh no, it's not 2 mana, that's why. I think I need Oketras. The Ajani enchantment is good with tokens. This? Oh, this? No, hell no.
Should be proud to have come so far. We stand together.
I don't think I necessarily need Procession in the deck. I don't think we're tokening enough for this. I'm looking at like a 1 of. I just don't like Procession in this deck. I'm just gonna not like fuck Procession. Let's go with this. Well, we probably want some weird planes, right? There's gotta be a planes in there that I want a different one of. So Chef of Dunes, let's say. We probably want 4 Chef of Dunes. Instead of just 4 planes. We're not tokening enough? I don't know, do we? This makes 1 token. This is only on Resurrection. The core of my early game doesn't. This is very late going to generate tokens. This only does so very small amount of the time unless I play like 4 of them. So like if my curve is like Resplendent Angel into Anointed Procession into Leonin War Leader, I'll be very sad. Very sad because I don't generate tokens until turn 6, which is an absolute potato. It's only good with Crested Sunmare, literally. It's literally only good with Crested Sunmare. Angel? But yeah, on 6 mana though. On 6 mana. That's a lot of time to wait. A lot of time. I feel like we need a 2-drop. I don't know which one though. We need more 2s for this deck to operate. I'll try 1 priest. We might cut Mentor of the Meek if, because I might have to play Oketra's Monument over Lyra. I think Lyra might have to go. I think Lyra might just go. This is quite good, but it makes Mentor of the Weak weak. +3 welcome, +3 mare. Why? What do you want? Like, okay. So explain to me what I'm gaining. Like literally, tell me what this is for. Just to gain life? That seems atrociously convoluted just to gain life. No, it's more of a mid-range deck, Ninja. It's not really a control one. I didn't think control was gonna be the place to go for that. So this would be an opener that Weenie White has, to be honest. Pretty close by that. Glint Nest Crane. Da-da-dum. Mentor the Meek and Benalish seem like they're messing with each other. Yes and no. It depends on what context. I don't really have to attack creatures in the deck very much. I didn't put Anointed Procession, no. I didn't think it was going to be particularly good. But I might be wrong. I might easily be wrong. The only card that's gonna trigger Mentor... I mean, there just aren't many. It's mostly gonna be token leftovers from Aketras and stuff. And the tokens from War Leader and Ajani.
It is good to see you are capable of more than you assume.
That is a lot of pressure. You know what, that is a busted 5th turn though? I don't know, man. I want it to be good. It's good, but I don't think it's good in this deck. I think it's better in blue-white. This is a very strong opener. It's gonna be pretty hard for us to lose here unless he finds a way to just bounce everything back. Renewed Faith, Lyra is playing Angels, seal away. Renewed Faith. That much? Like, you're trying to make this into a very different deck, but I think we could do that. But it's just not the same. Like, I tried to keep this something like an in-between between White Weenie and a lifelink build. I tried to keep that as something of an in-between. I'm expecting... Okay. I wrongly expected. Does he have a weird trick for me here? I didn't know where he would put the bounce or the counters. So I didn't want to put the counters beforehand. Maybe I should have. No, I'm kind of glad I did it this way. Because there's not many ways for him to salvage this, right? Because if I buff them preemptively, then all he does is he gets information as to where I put them. Whereas now he's just back to square one. Pridemate is going to grow twice, as I gained life twice.
Look how far you've come.
And then we can use Adonto plus Mentor of the Meek to generate power on the following turns. Adonto plus Mentor is pretty sweet. I really like this card. It's like, it feels pretty fair. It feels pretty fair for a Planeswalker. How about Adonto Vanguard? It's a creature that sticks and can use your health as a resource. That's actually a very good point. Vanguard would work. Probably better than Mentor and Oketras. I think cutting Mentor the Meek is just a bad idea. I'd be stupid to cut this. I feel like the top end is where we end up chopping. Like, if we build for Weenie, this is better. If we build for lifelink, or like a longer game, then I could build this a bit differently. Anointer Priest. Oketras is a play. One Lyra out. Oh yeah, one Lyra out. Yeah, I think I need to lower my curve a bit. For Winnie White to operate. I think I should play Remorseful Cleric or Glory Bound. I mean, Silverbeak Griffin is also pretty sweet. It wasn't in the deck initially, right? I think Sunmare is also questionable over Lyra. Do you ever play Silverbeak over Remorseful? I don't think you do you? Because this beats GPG. The problem is this dies to the Chain Whirler. Which is the same reason I want to run the freaking 3-mana 3-1. Alright, let's go with the Griffin. Let's go with this. Three flyer from Kaladesh with lifelink and vigilance. Oh, the dwarf guy. That seems like it would actually work out pretty well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Like, I've got the angel already, so I'd have to cut that out. Which I think is a sort of problem. That's a keep. That's a keep. This hand is either the best or the worst I'll ever have. There is no in between. If it gets magma sprayed, this hand is awful. If it doesn't get magma sprayed, this hand is absolutely insane. Oh my god. What's happening? It begins. This hand is just ridiculous. Oh my god. A bigger and bigger cat! I make bigger and bigger man. Wow, he's in 3 colors. Jeskai equipment? Jesus. What is that? An update is available? Dude, I just updated! I just updated! Extreme curve out? Don't really need to curve out though. I don't think I really need to curve out. Well, that's awkward. Womp womp. I'm gonna give him a trade if he wants to take it on the Pride Mate, but I think he rarely ever does. Oh my god. This is indeed the Wardruna, but I hope I don't get copyright strike for it. Probably do, but it's my luck. Oh! It might still explode, guys. A lot of damage, dude. I don't have that much lifelink. I don't think he expected that. I don't think he anticipated the angel. But I also don't think it will matter very much. Ah, Jeskai auras, dude. What is this? I have to just take it. I thought we had won this for sure, but we didn't. Somehow we lost. Oh, he's got trample. I can't beat that dude. A lifelink here with 1313 is pretty sweet, yeah. No lie. I think it's pretty dope. I thought we were good, but then this came out. I mean, it's a pretty nutty scenario for him, right? Like, you just, this just doesn't happen. His nut draw, well, he got way too many equipments. I don't think his deck runs like this usually, because his deck runs like it literally runs on one card, right? I don't need Pride Mate to do well. This deck doesn't really need Pride Mate to do okay. His deck needs Champion of the Flame, right? So if I replay against him a dozen times, I'm pretty sure I win like 10 out of 12 on a guess. Just like pitching it, I think I win about 10 out of 12. I really don't think his deck runs all that well very often, because like you have to have the champion, it has to survive. You also need to get auras and stuff, but I think his nut draw is better than ours in a mirror match. Pretty better. Merfolk! Renegade map. Oh. Not you again. Yeah, his nut draw was crazy. It was when the nut draw is just right. Without that lifelink enchantment, we had him. Without the lifelink enchantment, I think we had him. The deck runs like a coin flip when you have two colors. Imagine three. Yeah, I don't know how he's justifying it. Like, it's takes some. The level of testicles, the amount of testicles you need to have to do that is massive. Salad! You're still sub to this, baby. You're still sub to this, Kappa. Always sub, baby. Always subbed. You'll always be my sub. I'll always draft Dom for you. I'll be your Dom if you're my sub. Mox Amber? Yeah, it's a paradoxical outcome deck. You don't know it? You don't know it? Sorcery. His Lending is a legendary enchantment. I'd rather this one flips before I play the second one. No? Maybe not. Oh, he plays Metallic Rebuke. Baited.
Are you finished?
I guess I am supposed to override then, maybe. I could have flipped it, hypothetically. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm expecting to get bounced. At some point. Yeah, Rebuke is quite good. I mean, it's at its best in that deck, I think. Of all the decks you can play it in, I think that's one of the better lists to do. It's one of the few decks that actually gets to use the improvise. I don't think I've seen many other decks that have improvise themes to them. I saw a blue-black that did okay. There was a red, like a Grixis one that was also kind of fine. So he returned a lot of non-token permanents, and for each of them that he returned, he drew a card for each card. So he returned Renegade Map, Mox Amber, and Glint Nest. So he gets to replay them, reuse the enter the battlefield effect of Glint Nest, and also probably Paradoxical Outcome again. So the goal for him here is to get... Wow, that is pretty busted. Wait, he plays Karn? Well, that's something I did not anticipate. I had not anticipated that, I will not lie. That was not on my menu. I can actually just Banalish here if I feel like it, but I think it's just better to go... Right made into Leon and War Leader. That probably yields better results. Karn in an artifact deck isn't strange at all. I haven't seen much of it in Paradoxical Outcome is my point. In Paradoxical Outcome, it's extremely odd for me. I've rarely seen it. Usually the deck just wants more card draw, and Karn doesn't really work that way. It's a bit too slow at doing that, but maybe I'm wrong. I've just seen I've seen Karn very rarely in that deck.
I'll make use of that.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's good. I don't think it is, but... Like, Mox Ember doesn't add mana based on it, so you have to get Barrel. Maybe later. I mean, you probably play... You always play Mox Ember anyway, because it's a zero-cost artifact. So you can't improvise this turn. So we have a double Banalish Marshal, Lin, and War Leader turn. The 4/4, it generates white cat tokens on the board. Now we have to figure out how we attack. We're supposed to just punch him in the face. Like, his deck just either kills us or we win. Karn is just not worth it. And we get 2 3/3s as well with the Leon and War Leader that spawn while attacking. So he has to block Pride Mate, probably. Unless he wants to play, like, for value. He might be bouncing them later, then. So he has to gain 50 life with Aether Flux to kill us. Hypothetically, he can still do it. But he's gonna need a lot of improvise, and I don't see Statuary on the board yet. I don't see Statuary on the board yet. Only 42? Sorry, 44? Okay. Why 42? Oh, yeah, 44 to go up above 50. I was wondering what you were meaning. Gotcha. Each cast counts separately for Pride Mate? Yeah, it's each instance of Lifelink that does it. Each instance of the Lifelink. Suncrest is in this deck twice, I believe. I think it's too slow, Spirit. I think I'm supposed to try and get Leonin on 4 and not Procession, because it's just too slow. Ah, there's Statuary, baby. That's not bad. But again, he has to hardcast Aetherflux, which is very difficult, because you just don't have enough mana, and he can't bounce most of these back. Paradoxical Outcome can work, but like, yeah, this is not good. This is just not good. I think it's just slightly, because it's sort of clunking up my 4-drops, is my worry with Procession, but it's very good with Regal Caracal. Like, if I swap to a more token-based deck, then I think it gets better instantly. Wow.
I will defend my allies.
You will?
Oh,
I see how it is, Card. Oh, say hello to my little friend. Does Procession work with +1/+1s? You mean 1/1s? Yes, but not +1/+1s, because Procession copies tokens, not counters. That should be game. Because he only has 1 blue, right? So he can't tap for some kind of weird... I mean, he could still commit, I guess, hypothetically. We're just gonna swing at his face. Yeah, Doubling Season is a different card, though. Now you're talking about a very different card. I wish Doubling Season were... If Procession were Doubling Season, we'd probably see a whole lot more of these, like... I don't know. Of these decks. It would be pretty cool to have a green-white token go wide. I think it might be Sargath. Yeah, I think it might be. Don't ever wish for double season in standard. I love that card though. I love token metas. Leonin is sick, not just in limited apparently. Well, I don't think he's that great in standard. I think he just happens to work in our deck, but I don't think... Like, I don't think this deck is a tier 1 or anywhere near that. So I'm expecting commit memory here after tapping 3 artifacts. Or commit straight up. Oh, yep, there it is. Ooh, whoop. Ah! Yes, Jace, yes! You're dead, Jace. Radiant Destiny is too slow in this deck, I think. Replay is kind of relaxing, honestly. It's a very relaxing game mode. The algorithm is working out super well, right? Because they used to basically pit you against... Like, Quick Constructed and Competitive Constructed are both very competitive formats. And then, apparently in free play, the algorithm matches you against people with similar deck power level. Which I quite appreciate. It's very different. Like, I've been going 50-50 pretty much. Maybe above that. But, like, I don't encounter BR vehicles. It might just be a function of my rank as well, but... Like, I haven't been encountering too many normal things. Silverbeak Griffin might be pretty MVP here. I didn't even consider him initially. Yeah, see? Like, this is not... Like, when you see blue-white, usually you're like, oh yeah, Teferi. But it's not. It's actually a token deck. This could be a very fancy game, though. I'm gonna get a very fancy game of Magic. The next turn we get to swing with everything. I mean, I don't know. War Leader's there. I don't know if I want to run into cast out or, I mean, seal away. No, I don't think it's rares and mythics, man. I don't think that's what it is. I think they have I think cards have individual ratings. Because I have a lot of rares in this deck. A lot of rares. Like a shit ton of... I am flooded in rares. This deck is absolutely rare clogged. Am I supposed to play with this? Attack with those or what? I don't really like it. It's kind of bad. I think the tokens are worth it. Fine, you get the trade. I'll give it to you. I'll kill the Anointed Priest, though. No, I'll kill the Champion of Wits. Why not block the 2-2 with your 1-3? I would have taken 1 damage by default and died. Alright. Sunscourge Champion. Oh, attacking with this guy isn't exactly the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. But it generates a lot of tokens. Why is that enchantment now land card? It's called Legion's Landing. And what it does is when it comes down, it puts a 1/1 white vampire into play. And then when you attack with 3 or more creatures simultaneously on the same turn, it will flip into a land. It's a great way to generate a sizable amount of creature advantage. I'm not sure if he's really saying GG or if I'm getting settled. I feel like I'm just about to get settled the wreckage, so I'm gonna take it very slowly. Just attack with the flyers. Oh, looks like I won. He didn't have settle or seal away. Hey, GG had a pretty potato hand. Oh, you were my opponent? Oh. Yeah, I thought I was in for a pretty rough beating, because usually tokens stop me on the ground pretty fast. Would I take blue-white GPG to Nationals? I would say so, but just, like, make sure that you know what you're doing, because this card just came in, and it'll screw you, dude. And I'm sure some people will be adding this to their general, like, Sentinel Totem memory. I don't know if that's going to be something to worry about, but food for thought. I know people already run Scavenger Grounds, but it's a very, 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 very expensive answer. Like, you have to find the 1-up, whereas this is like, oh, I'm playing my own GPG, fine, mirror match, Remorseful Cleric, bam. And that just explodes. Like, your blue-white control is going to shit on you with that. It's so crazy. I'd be very wary of relying. I mean, I think it's gonna work. I think it's gonna be a good deck, but I'd be worried a little bit. Donation came in. We'd love to see your take on this Grixis control I janked up. Alright. Let's put this in the queue then. I actually have to redo some lists for M19. We have to do a lot of lists for M19. A lot of lists have just not been updated at all. Ninja Rock 98 5 Dras. There's too much of a backlog here. There's too much of a backlog for my liking. There's so much updating, dude. Can I can't do that all myself. I'll go crazy. I'll go crazy. I can't do that. I don't think I can realistically do it. My god, this color's bad. These people did not even update to Kaladesh yet. There's so many things to change. Let's try to take this deck, modify it slightly, like move away from the weenie hyper aggro build, and try to go for the Regal Caracal token build that we talked about. Alright, people wanted to see Anointed Procession in the deck. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we can move away from... Let's see if we can make this like a token build instead. What other token generator would I want early on though? I guess Seal Away is a viable one. Martyr of Dusk is pretty fringe. I think it's too slow now. I mean, I guess I should just put in... Maybe just like history as a 3 of, and maybe still keep, what's her name? Well, actually, you know what? Now this actually makes a lot.
My artifacts give them strength.
Internet. Alright, I'm not sure if I'm even connected anymore. If anybody's in the chat, I'd like to have a hello. Everything was crashing, my modem went down, everything went down, everything shut down. We back? Alright, cool. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, something went very, very wrong. So as I was saying before I left the game, Martyr of Dusk looks like a pretty good play, like a pretty good card for this deck. But Cast Out is also a fairly decent pick, I'm guessing. Is there another lifelink tool that I could use? Oh, Fabrication Angel. Well, that's too many 5-drops, though. That's way too many 5-drops. I think Angel of Sanctions could be reasonable. Want to see a fun dragon deck? What do you mean by fun? Way too good to pass? I don't know, in this deck? Maybe. I mean, it's better than the Crescent Sunmare, that's not even a question, but... Alright, fine. You want me to play a 1 of Oketra? I can probably do it. Instead of Leon War Leader. I mean, she's so bad though. Like, I'm not gonna put her in this build, but maybe in the next one. Splash for Huatli? Okay, dude, like, if I wanted to make Selesnya token, I'd already have done it. I have 7 lists of Selesnya token already done. This is a challenge to make a white, mono white weenie. This, like... I know that Selesnya token is better, but we're not going there. I know. I have made way too many of those. The challenge was fix this white deck, or like play this white deck. Initially, the person who submitted the deck list, and then if I start splashing 5 colors, it's sort of isn't the same deck anymore. To be fair, it's changed a lot already. This hand is both the best and the worst I've ever seen. Enough jank in the dragon deck to make it interesting to watch. Oh, I'll show you a real dragon deck. Well, I mean jank. Why do you want jank in your dragon deck? What do you mean one dragon? Have people just been playing like the one of demanding? I feel like True Dawn was running a deck with multiple dragons. Wasn't he? Oh god, we're gonna get Doomfall, boys. Feels bad. Oh wow. Not Doomfall. Sometimes lucky. It begins. It begins! Ah! Oh wow, double Sky March. That's so cute. Go, Caracal! Does Nicole and a lot of the new M19 drags? Well, of course, they're the only good dragons. What can I say? Wait, so that's not what people want? You want something else than that? Oh shit, okay. Well, Demanding Dragon, Nicol Bolas are the only 2 ones I'd want, so... I get why they're doing it. I kinda get why they'd be doing this. I mean, so far the deck feels good, but I'm clearly biased as... I'm gonna get very sketchy and go for the +2/+2. Just because I don't want to have to trade with those. I feel like he doesn't have more murders. I think that's the precon. Dude, this deck is utterly dope. This deck is the dopest. Well, that went fast. That went very fast. These tokens went places very quickly. I'm a little bit puzzled right now. But I'll say one thing. I'm glad that we can now play token decks somewhere because it's not infested with Settle the Wreckage, Fumigate, and Chain Whirler. I like that. Like, we still lose to Fog Effects, we still lose to Rebuke and its kin.
Your theory serves me well.
Fire! Are we getting frame drops? Oh, because we had lethal. That's right. Well, because our win rate is oh my god, no, please not again.
Stop! Now I see your approach.
Dude, this stream today. It seems like the local connection is just absolutely borked. My modem is acting up. I might have to give it a break. I wonder if MTG is causing this. Fucking up your modem! Leeching all the... They're leeching all the megabytes out of my C drive. Downloading all my RAM, dude. I can't even play games anymore. MTG is downloading all my RAM, watch out, guys. Either Dead or Nox is the best at freeze frame I've ever seen. Hey, I'm not a frozen frame. I will not stand for this. So here what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play Okecho's Monument and play Sacred Cat afterwards because we are in no rush to develop onto the scrappy board. MTG's memory problem is way worse than usual. I don't actually find that to be the issue currently, although it might be one, but that hasn't been my problem this time around. Thanks, Damien. You actually MVP there. That's actually a very cool thing for you to do. Detection Tower. Ah, my game's frozen. I gotta restart. I gotta Alt F4 and come back. Don't you crash on me, wizards. Oh my god, I said wizards. I think I'm officially cured from the Blizzard curse. That isn't good. That's not a positive. Update incoming? I don't know, I feel like I've been updated like 75 times already. Not black screening! Also, I'm gonna be able to fuck up Jace. Eat that, you edgelord! Yes! Yes! Oh! Yes, it is, but only in competitive drafts, Bam. It's still less expensive than MTGO by a sizable amount, so if I were you, I would probably draft Arena if I wanted to do M19. It's still a lot less expensive. Of course, you don't get to resell, so if you pick up a bolus, it's just your bolus. But if you're not reselling and you just draft like occasionally, then, you know, draft over an MTGO. Then it's probably worth more, I think. I would say so. You want to know why the vault disappeared? Yeah, so they're moving away from that, Aaron. The way that the economy is going to be set up in the future is currently, and they've changed the way that the vault works. What's going to happen in the future is when you open up 3 packs, you're going to get a guaranteed uncommon wildcard. After 6 packs opened, you're going to be getting a rare wildcard. After 15 packs, you'll get a mythic. But every 3 packs, you're always going to get an uncommon. After every 6 packs, you're going to get a rare. So it's always you're always going to have this constant cycling of guaranteed wildcards instead of having to wait for 3 weeks to get 1 vault with some wildcards. And so what they've done is they've hidden the vault away, but it's currently being filled up. If you get duplicates, like 5th copies of stuff, it's going to fill up. But it no longer fills up as a result of opening packs. They've basically deleted that portion of it. So you're simply going to get wildcards more naturally as time passes, which I think, and we've done the math on this, you're going to get more rare wildcards per month. It's going to be just a better deal by, I'd say something like, not a crazy amount, but like, I think 10 to 15%, I think. 15-ish%, which is a pretty good amount when it comes to economy modifications. It feels more rewarding, it's more consistent, it's less frustrating, there's so many pluses, it's hard to really argue with it. So it's just good. It's just very well done. I don't know. I'm glad they made that change. It needed to happen, obviously, because the economy was a very sore point. Yes, it did go offline, Moonstar. I crashed completely. Your vault was not 100% Sargarth. I don't think so, because mine was. When mine filled up, it lit up. I refilled mine. I was very close with like 95. Then I got to 100, and it lit up, and I opened it, and it was there. So it's not lost. It's there.
You think you can.
Not only is it more consistent and rewarding, you just know when it is coming. Knowing when something is coming feels much better than not knowing. So that's interesting you say that, right? Because there are 2 schools of thought on that matter, and I think sometimes they conflate, like the points are conflated. Because on one hand, yes, that's true, but gambling basically speaks to the opposite of that statement, right? If you've ever gambled, you know for a fact that that's probably not the case. You like the randomness of it. You like opening card packs because you don't know what you get. But the other school of thought is it's good to give people milestones, visible milestones to work towards, which is a different claim. They're both competing with each other, and they both are implemented and interwoven in the same systems. The question is, when do you go too far in one direction? And that's not obvious. That is just not obvious to a lot of the game developers, and so a lot of it is hit or miss. It's just gut feeling. Oh, I feel like this is better. I feel like this would be better. And oftentimes it's actually quite off the mark, which is what we've noticed with MTG Arena. And it's one of the points that I made very early on, is I think the demographic of MTG players, I think the demographic that plays MTG is not the same demographic that will appreciate nothing but, you know, coin flips or roulette spins. Yes, MTG players open card packs. Yes, the casual players do, but the bulk of your audience is playing a strategy game. And when you play a strategy game, the last thing you want to be doing is to be doing nothing but relying on randomness to get you somewhere. It just feels like shit. So I think it's just an issue with the demographic. They just completely missed the mark, and they're addressing it over time. Like, they're fixing that. They're aware of it, which is good. Because I really worried for a while that they maybe wouldn't, well, you know, quote-unquote, get the hint. Great place to find standard decks? I don't really know where to go for those. I actually don't know anything about MTG resources. I know that there's videos you can find from Saffron Olive. Apparently he does a lot of janky decks and people love those, so that might be fun. Yeah. On the other hand, Gwent was at some point so consistent and not random it was truly boring. Right, but Gwent has a problem with, there you go, not its collection acquisition. It was random it was non-random in the gameplay, which is something I always criticize Gwent for. By being, so Gwent had this thing. For those of you who are not familiar with Gwent, I won't give you a rundown of the rules, but the way it worked is you had a 25 card deck. Your opening hand was 10 cards, and you could pitch back up to 3 and redraw, or something like 3. By the end of a full game, you would always draw your 25 cards. Always draw your 25 cards, almost every time. You would, or if you didn't draw 25, you drew like 23. Because to make the best deck, you had to be able to execute a consistent strategy. So what ended up happening is that the opening hand dictated who won. And that sounds weird because you see 25 cards. But the reality of it is, because on the round 1, and there are 3 rounds, you're stuck with 10 of your 25 cards. If those first 10 cards aren't the best cards in your deck, there's a very good chance you just lose round 1 by default and you're at a disadvantage going into rounds 2 and 3. So by being non-random and super predictable, and you knowing what was left in your deck, it was nearly impossible to catch up once you were behind on the first round. And it's interesting because it was hyper consistent. You always knew what your strategy was going to be. You always executed exactly the same sort of sequence. But that's exactly what led to the game being awful. It's very strange. Boy, that's a play. Okay, I think I'm sold on Oketra's Monument. I'm just sold on Oketra's. I don't think I'm supposed to take this card out of the deck now. I am settling on this as the way to build the deck. Oh my god. This card is insane. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of strategy in Gwent. There is, though. There is. That's the tough part to really get across, is there is a lot of strategy. But it's just, the consistency is almost a negative. Well, it is a negative. It just is a negative.
Be strong.
We're supposed to just swing out, right? You need Fatal Push to punish. I think that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna block with a Seeker Squire. And then Fatal Push the Leonin War Leader before it actually gets to do anything. But he should have done that beforehand, though. Because now he doesn't get to kill this before it spawns the 1/1 cats. That Johnny's pretty good. I think most underestimated him. Even I did, I think, to a certain extent. But if you find the right deck for him, which I think is going to be mono white for the most part, I don't think you can... Well, maybe it fits in vampires, actually, now that I look at it. It's like, maybe it just fits in vamps. Assuming you want to build vamps. It's actually a better vampire, like, planeswalker than... Yeah, it's interestingly fine in that type of deck. But you have to play a deck that's very creature heavy. Pros are playing him in white-black with Knight of Grace and Malice. That seems on point, actually. Yeah, that seems like the perfect spot. It's even better than Vamps, because Vamps actually just die to everything, whereas the Knights just don't. Knights needed a bit of a push and help, though, this patch, and they just weren't doing as well as I hoped that they would by this point. Yeah, he's probably even better in Knights than Vamps, honestly.
You are capable of more.
There's gotta be a degenerate deck we haven't thought of, like Abzan. I think there's an Abzan token deck with a Johnny that just blows up the entire universe, but it's a work in progress, trying to figure out how to make that work. Yeah, we're playing Mentor of the Meek in this. I thought it was a pretty cool combo with Leonin War Leader and Oketra's. And it's also got synergy with the tokens that come back, like Sacred Cat. We're also playing Regal Caracal, which works with it. Legion's Landing, that can generate tokens.
poisoning has grown.
Chester! Nearly 3% of the ice in the Antarctic glaciers is penguin urine. 3%! Every month it's a new bit of wisdom. I've cut Militia Bugler. I don't think he's that great. I think Bugler is a trap. But maybe, like, it's probably just worth it. I don't know. Not a big fan. It's too slow, man. It's too freaking slow, but it's good. It is good. Welcome back, Shaster. Welcome back. Welcome back, homie. What am I supposed to do now? Punch my webcam and be like, sub punch. Oh, the bro fist. Oh, speaking of bro fisting. Whoa. Whoa. This isn't going where you think it is. I want to talk about the channel's updates. I have some assets, some preliminary asset. Go on, fuck you, chat. I had some asset updates that are going to be coming up. Now, ignore the layout, because that's not how it's going to be laid out. Those are just the assets. I've already talked about them and shown a bunch of them already, but I figured I would show you some of the updated ones that are not there yet, but it's a work in progress by the people in charge of that. They're also working on an overlay for a project that I've got. So these are the assets. I mean, my face is hidden, so obviously. Now, the bottom, it's not going to be a finalized. The bottom one is going to be slimmed down a bit because I think it's too thick. The bro fisting is too thick. But these look very good. Like, I like the logo redoing, the skull getting texture, the boxes having, you know, I actually like this theme a lot more. I've been...
고통이 너희를 새롭게 만들어줄 거야. 날 믿어. 내가 새로운 셈을 줄 테니까.
Alright, well, the wall boss it. Play the wolves. What I want the most right now is, you know, some tournaments in MTG Arena. That would be great. And if you actually get to draft with real life people, that would be also pretty cool. So yeah, those two things are the ones I would want to see most. Man, this guy is like all the colors. White, blue land, blue, red land, red, white land, land that taps for any color. And a green land, like, he's just everywhere. Oh my god, I finally drew it. Holy jeez, okay. So first of all, let's play open form on our Rejuvenator. So they're all 4 attack. They're all pretty threatening. Play the Sky Scanner. Play the land. Attack with everything. He takes 8 damage. So even though he has a wall, I can just get past it, you know? Just need more stuff. A mountain. Okay. Meteor Golem. 7 mana, 3/3. Kill anything you want. Oh, it's dead. Okay, attack of everything. Okay, we will sure strike the rocks. Oh. And then damage. Place Sarkis and ceiling here. Alright, I'm good. So this guy's just playing expensive cards, right? Like mana dorks, draw stuff, walls, and then expensive creatures. Ooh, 4/4 flying. Okay. Hey, Amaz HS is best HS. Thanks to 2 months. 2 months of best HS and MTG stream. Poggers. Thank you, dude. Alright, you played Horizon Scholar here. 1 top, 1 bottom. Okay. Damn it! I need some creatures, dude! Okay, attack of everything. Oh, blocking my Sky Scanner, eh? Well, short strike Sky Scanner. Wait, destroy targets are flying. What the? Gift of Paradise. Enchanted creature adds 2 mana, and he also gains 3 life for that. Okay, fine. He's down to 1 card, so we're actually be. Oh no, Bone Dragon. Okay, I get it, okay. It's freaking 5/4 flying. When it's in the graveyard, pay 5 mana, exile 7 cards. He only has 4 cards. But then when you exile 7 cards, you can return to the battlefield. Okay. Oh, this is pretty good. Hey, this is a 4 attack creature, so I can use Suckins and Sealing here. Deal 4 damage to any target. I choose.
Do not cross me. You will fail.
The Bone Dragon? I just have to go Smork here. I can't wait anymore. So exile 7 cards, right? He has 5 cards, including the dragon. 6 cards, including the dragon, so it needs 2 more cards. Ah, that's okay. We're fine.
That is the sound of your demand.
Courser. Alright, Smorking. Play Courser. We need some plummets right now. Guys, we need some plummets. Alright, give me that plummet. Giant Spider is actually not good against him. His flyers are bigger than a 2/4. So this is not good. I guess Highland Game is also bad. Man, I always subbing out Highland Game. Maybe it's just not that good. What else do we know? I think that's about it. Just need some plummets and that's it. That wall blocks so much damage. Yeah, but at the same time, I wasn't really threatened by it, right? I was like, yeah, whatever, just attack, you know? So even though the wall blocked a lot of damage, it was also kind of useless. Are there any cultural differences between Chinese and Hong Kongese? Hong Kong's kind of like a different version of China, I guess, in a sense. Battle. What was that? Ah! There's bugs on the board. Excuse me. Oh wow, this is a kind of a greedy keep. Wow, mulligan to 5 cards. I think we're actually a big favorite now. All we need to do is draw a land. Easiest game of my life. How many lines do you need in draft? Usually you play 17 lines. 17 lines is like the default. If you're a little bit more aggro, you can go 16. If you're a little bit more control, you can go 18, yeah. But you can play what you're comfortable with, yeah? Mikey Kids, this is 26 months. It says the real magic is the one that we share. Wow, that is so cheesy. Alright, so here my goal is to just kill him fast, right? So I'm gonna play the 4-2. Just wanna kill him before he does his big mana stuff. And Electrocave with the Prime sub. New sub, welcome, welcome. How you doing, man? Horizon Scholar. Yep, it's the one that scribes too. One top, one bottom, okay. Fatty. Attacking with both. Seal Strike. Boom. And then boom. Rejuvenator for a mountain. What? There's no lands in my top 5? Really? What are the... What? Bone Dragon again. Oh, there's the line. Yes, I get it, Dragon. Alright, attack with the 4-2. Shredmaw. Animation? Yeah, there's some cards that are even better than rares, right? They're mythics. So you see this orange here? Orange means it's like super good. So yeah, those usually have an animation. Because they're like good cards. Fire Elemental is a 5/4 ground creature. Okay. Combat, attack. Attack with 2 things. I'm also going to GP at Orlando. No, I'm going to GP Sacramento, and then I'm going to GP Minneapolis afterwards. Oh, guess what? I have a debate for you. Oh. And then 6/6 does not die to a 5/4. So, yeah. Beautiful. Ta-da! If I make a deck of 60 mythics, will I win everything then? I'm pretty sure a deck of 60 mythics will lose exactly 100% of the time because you have no lands. So, get wrecked. Mythic lands? I don't think there are mythic lands, are there? Not that I know of. Cavern of Souls? Oh yeah, there is Cavern of Souls. I didn't play back then, but okay, I'm keeping this hand. So this is the final boss. I have 4 wins now. So if we beat this guy, we get 5 wins. If we don't beat this guy, we get 4 wins. So it's still okay. But then, yeah, this is the final boss. Oh, there's also Caracas. Yeah, Caracas is right. Okay, land, everybody? White, black. Oresco Swiftfall. Okay. Fountain of Renewal. At the start of your turn, gain 1 life. You can pay 3 mana, sacrifice and draw a card. Okay. Well, I have no land, so this is bad. Maze's End is mythic? I've never played that, so yeah. I believe you. Yo, I just need lands, and then this is just gonna be an easy win. Oh, it's just sacrifice this to draw a card. Okay. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I need some mana! Guys, can you please give me a land? As an additional cost to cast this, sacrifice a creature. It's a 6/6 flying and trample. Wait, that's not good. Wait, that is really bad. Demon of Catastrophes. Well, this is quite catastrophic, I have to say. Ow. Oh. One, two, three. Strangling Spores? The Higher Blade. It's a 3/2 flash creature. Can play it anytime. Oh, I'll play the Ogre, I guess. Is there a time limit on turns? Yeah, there's like a 1 minute you can make on the turn. 6/5! Oh my god. Well, this line is a little late. So I have 1 out. Plummet. Plummet is like the only out, right? I don't think I have any more outs. Hieromancer's Cage. Exile a non-land permanent opponent controls. So my 4/2 is getting caged here. Gain 2 life at least. Alright, whatever. Highland Game, get the heck out of here. Highland Game is just it's so bad. Do I want another plummet for the demon? Honestly, I really have trouble dealing with flyers, right? This deck is not good against flying, so yeah, we will put another plummet here. Not again! It'll be fine, guys. You just gotta believe. Just gotta believe in the force, okay? Once we draw a force, everything will make sense. Neonate. Oh my poggers. Okay, attack. So Neonate can pay 2 mana to suck me for 1 health. That's fine. Harpy! It's a 1/2. Can eat a creature to put a counter on it. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. You think I'm scared? Attack your face, dude. I'm okay with that.